Today, we're looking at the denial and restoration of Peter. So grab a Bible now and check it out in the Gospel of John. You can find Peter's denial in chapter 18, verses 15 to 27, and Peter's restoration a couple of chapters later on, John 21, verses 15 to 19. Darren shared yesterday that God can use each of us in spite of the mistakes that we might make. The Bible teaches us that we serve a God who absolutely forgives us. In Isaiah chapter 43, verse 25, it says that God erases all of our sins. The Bible teaches us that when we make a mistake, all we need to do is come before God, say we're sorry, and he forgives us. And yet sometimes we begin to think, actually, that can't be true for me. I've done that one too many times. God can't forgive me again. Or, do you know what, that was just too big a sin for God to forgive me. And yet the Bible teaches us that God absolutely will and does when we come before him and say we're sorry. Peter is an amazing example of this. We see Peter deny Jesus 3 times. 3 times he says, I don't know this man. And then later on, 3 times Jesus asks him, Peter, do you love me? Peter starts to get frustrated with the repetition of this question. And yet 3 times Peter replies, yes, Jesus, I love you. And I think that's really significant. That actually Jesus essentially acknowledges each time that Peter has denied him. And it's replaced with this truth that Peter loves him. Jesus forgave Peter for each one of those denials. And we too are forgiven when we mess up. When we come before God and say we're sorry, he forgives us. Now that's not to say that we set out on a mission to sin and ask for forgiveness, to sin and ask for forgiveness. Sometimes there are things that maybe we need to remove ourselves from in order to take away temptations, in order to take away areas where we know that we tend to fall into sinning. But it is to say that actually when we do get tripped up, when we do make those mistakes, all we need to do is come before God, say we're sorry, and he does forgive us. But what I find incredible about Peter's example is that actually Jesus doesn't just forgive Peter. Jesus does more than just forgive Peter. Jesus has incredible plans for Peter. He says, on you, I'm going to build my church. He has incredible plans for each and every one of us. No matter what's in our past, no matter what we've done, no matter how bad we think we are. We all do wrong things, we all think wrong things, we all say wrong things. But God is gracious enough to forgive us. And he has a plan for each and every one of us. A plan not to harm us, but to prosper us. Are you willing to see what those plans are that God has for you?